Welcome. Today, I am going to be chatting about why time alone during midlife, perimenopause, and menopause isn't selfish and why it's actually essential for women during this stage of life. So many women struggle during midlife, finding it harder to show up for people in the same way that they did in the past, often in that sandwich generation. So maybe having aging parents or kids, or just feeling stretched and not having the same capacities, not wanting to do the same things, but then showing up over and over in the same ways can lead to resentment. Or if we take care of ourselves, it can lead to guilt. So today I'm going to talk about why time alone isn't just a nice thing in menopause, but why it's essential. So welcome, radiant woman. I believe every woman is radiant, and I'm here to help you just shine that light, reignite, reconnect with that part of you, and shine the full self and out into the world. And when we're radiant, we feel good in our bodies, we understand what's going on, and we're expressing ourselves in the unique way that we are born to do. So my name is Angela Warburton. I am an Eastern medicine practitioner with over 25 years of clinical experience working with thousands of women in the clinic. I have a background in nutritional therapy, lifestyle medicine, herbal medicine, and I specialize in helping to support women through this midlife and menopause journey. So as a woman who is a midlife woman, gone through menopause myself, I understand the journey firsthand, what it's like. And I've applied all my clinical knowledge and then my personal journey, and I'm bringing it here for you to help. So I say it's the science and the soul, the very holistic, time-tested wisdom, inviting all aspects of you to the table: body, mind, spirit, soul, the feistiness, the compassion, the tears, the joy, the laughter, all of you. I've got something for all parts of you. So each week we'll explore different practical tools, my expert insights, holistic methods for healing, but also the humor and the heartbreak of, or the change that can be part, and the challenges that come with this time of life. So welcome. So today, let's talk about why time alone is essential. So midlife is a shift in stages of life. Just like puberty gets us from being a child it shifts us into adulthood, menopause shifts us into the wise woman years. This is a stage where we get to have more impact, live a life that's more authentic, more in alignment, have deeper meaning, renewed purpose. Not the story we're told, but it's actually what it's about. And with this comes a hormonal shift. Have you noticed at all? But that's really just a small part of the bigger picture of what happens at midlife. So at midlife, our capacities change. They're supposed to. If you want to know more about how we shift, our brain is one big change, and I just did a video on that recently, so you can see how our brain actually shifts. So it means that what we're able to focus on is going to shift as well. So instead of making it mean that something's wrong with you, how to embrace the changes for what they are and understand, and then harness that wisdom. But there's a cascade of other symptoms that go around along with midlife. So hormones just being one of them. So these cascade of other symptoms, we need to be able to understand what's happening, and we need to start operating in a new way. And so if you continue to try to operate out of the old ways, try to keep going, just motoring along, this is my capacities, it's how I work out, this is what I eat, this is how I spend time with friends, but it doesn't feel the same, it's because something else is called for. I always say it's like, I don't know if any of you have ever gone to a cool like sale, and there's this awesome pair of shoes, and you're like, oh my God, they're gorgeous. And they just have the half size smaller than you. And you're like, no, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then you buy them and you try to wear them and you walk like a block and you're like, it's not fine. It hurts. So when we resist the change and keep trying to shove ourselves into the old ways of being, it's kind of like walking in that shoe and you're shoving your foot into a shoe that's too small. And eventually it just hurts you and it doesn't work. So we're programmed to grow and change, like we're part of nature. And if you think of if you have a garden or you look at a tree that comes from a little seedling and it grows and grows and grows, that's what happens with us. We're continually growing, and how we live and our show up in the world should change with that. So when we try to stay static or stay the same, we hurt ourselves and we're actually blocking the growth that is natural. So when we push through, overriding particularly our need for rest, saying yes to things that we no longer want to do, not honoring the no, when you put yourself last, it can really lead to like an imbalance, an internal imbalance. And this can show up mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So this can show up in lack of sleep, irritability. Just did a little bit on the, understand your anger, irritations, your intolerances, because we get intolerant of things when they're not working. We also have a decrease in our ability to multitask. That is normal. Lack of interest. Ugh, I don't want to do that anymore. That can be all signs of something that wants your change. So changing capacities, patterns, ways of being that are outdated, no longer working, they're just basically in need of an upgrade. So that's part of it. It can be hard, particularly when we have a culture that says our worth equals our productivity. How much we do in a day, how much we accomplish, how much we check off our list is where we have said that's where your value is. And so I have yet to meet a woman. If you're one of these women, please let me know. But I have yet to meet a woman that doesn't have some level of feeling not enough, not enough. You fill in the blank. It can be not productive enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not thin enough, not compassionate enough, not kind enough, not successful enough, not blah, blah, blah. Like it goes on and on. Often women actually are caught between too much and not like feeling too much and not enough at the same time, but that is a tale for another time. So you might relate to that as well. But the not enoughness and that associating our worth around what we accomplish or do is a huge problem. And I'm here to tell you that your worth is not about how much you do. You are worthy, period. You are enough, just as you are. And that might be a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but I guarantee you, you are. And so just taking that in and sometimes just taking a moment to look, where does that chronic doing or the fear of stopping? A lot of people feel like they're going to be lazy. They're being selfish when they take time off. And sometimes it's this unconscious belief that I need to be doing in order to be worthy and to be enough and to basically earn my place in the world. And the problem, or that when you meet that really unconscious but pervasive, erroneous belief that our culture, particularly Western culture, has basically fed to us. And then you combine that with menopause, and menopause puts everything under the microscope. Nothing will be left untended to or unseen. It's like, hello, there it is right there. So some things will be boring. We'll lose interest in some things. We will just not have the capacity, not like doing things. And so we're called to reassess. And in order to reassess, we need time. We need space. Noise. Have you ever noticed that? Like, I remember my mom when I was a teenager, great time. A lot of teens and like our puberty and menopause often correlates or kind of meet the same time in families. And I remember I was a obnoxious little child and I'd always want the radio on these certain songs. And I remember driving with my mom, and when we'd turn off the radio, she'd be like, "Oh my God, thank God." And I just was like, Mom, you're not cool. These are great songs. But it's this quiet. We need the time and space to be heard, to hear ourselves. And so when we're constantly filling ourselves, whether it's scrolling, and time alone and time with space does not mean scrolling through Instagram, binge watching things. That's just more information in. And I kind of like, this is my analogy that I like. I have this beautiful little, it's called a fog globe, but this is kind of life, right? It's like, wow, there's so much going on. And when we have time to just be, it's like things start to settle. Things become clearer. We can hear ourselves. And so you can see things just slowly start to become more clear. Okay, I said that twice now, but you get it. And so and it's so important to have this time. In Eastern medicine, we have a term called yang shen, and it's basically translates to the art of self-nourishment. And so many women have equated self-care with selfishness, or it's like, oh, I'll go get my nails done or go for a spa day. This isn't what self-nourishment is. Self-nourishment is allowing for the settling to happen, carving out space. And I know we're all like, so many women are busy and have so many things that they have to do. Start with 10 minutes. Start with 15 minutes. Go plunk yourself in. If you're near nature or a park or somewhere, just sit yourself down, observe nature. Don't multitask. Close the door. Tell everyone you'll be back in 15 minutes. They can fend for themselves. Do a restorative, like yoga pose, put your feet up on the wall, just lie on the floor in Shavasana, let yourself be held by gravity and just shut off the noise, just so you can hear yourself. This is an essential part of, we talk about the yin and the yang balance. We have a culture that's obsessed with the yang, the busy, the doing. Often people talk about it as the masculine energy. Very important, the structures, the achievement, the active part. But the yin side is equally important. This is the intuition, the inner knowing, the rest, the deep restorative rest. If you're not sleeping well at night, often it's because your nervous system is just wired for the doing, and our bodies will be flooded with cortisol when we do this. And so we need to take the time to strip away the noise, the non-essential, and then refill up your tank. And this can be recognizing, just using your symptoms, emotions as guideposts, telling you something needs attention. Doesn't mean you have to ditch everything, but it just might be an up leveling. Hey, kids, it's time that you do the dishwasher. Or every day, someone different is going to make the dinner in the family, and it's not just me, setting them up with life skills. Just opting out for saying no. One of my clients says, her cancellations are her love language. And so it's like, sometimes, when you say no to take care of yourself, you actually end up serving someone else too. So you never know, but it's like your body's not messing with you. It's trying to give you information all the time. So the more that you show up authentically, and this is really that portal of menopause, is helping you to live more in alignment what's true for you. And the more that you show up in that way, not only are you modeling it for other people, people can trust your yes when you say yes when you mean yes, and no when you mean no. So don't you want that for the other people in your family as well? But the nice thing is, when you live from that place, you actually fill up your tank, and it's better for everyone, because then you end up coming from a place that's more full versus, I say, overdraft, or like a tank that's running on fumes. And when we have that tank that's running on fumes, we get irritable, we're resentful, we feel guilty because we shouldn't be resentful, but we kind of are. We don't want to do it, but oh my God, we like all that messiness, it just gets cluttered and really kind of sticky, messy. And so when you can use your symptoms, let yourself want what you want, take the time, those micro breaks. If you can get more time, book off a half day, book off a longer, just have these times. During my menopause, I found a beautiful little retreat center that had these little cabins on a lake. There was a little labyrinth there. There was a forest nearby, and I would go away for a night or two. And I did this every month for a while. And I didn't do anything. I had a bed, a hot plate, a kettle, a lazy boy chair. And I went there different seasons, and I just allowed myself to be able to listen. And it was essential for me. I had the luxury of doing that. We might not all have that same luxury, but there are moments. Everyone has a moment of shutting the door, finding a tree and a bench, whatever it is for you, finding what that is. And it might seem like it's going to be really hard to do, or it might be a pain, or we might be afraid of what other people are going to think. But I promise you, the more you're able to see yourself, the more you're able to listen. There's a little card that I have over here, and it says, there is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. And that's what that deep, quiet voice inside that can only be heard when you take the time to listen to yourself. So there's more on the other side. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be retreating, but it's just like a shedding process, and then aligning to all that wisdom, all that experience that you have gained over the years of your life. It's now funneling through, and now you get to let go of what isn't working, so that the beautiful life force that you do have is going to be in alignment with the things that you have passion for, that you have energy for, and that you can have big impact around. So self-nourishment is not selfish, and it's actually essential. So I hope this was somewhat helpful for you. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like. If you want more content like this, I'm sharing different videos on different parts of this midlife and menopause journey every week. So hit subscribe below. And if you know another woman that you think would benefit from this, please forward it on to them. We need you to thrive. We need the women in your life to thrive, because when women feel good, particularly during midlife and beyond, amazing change can happen in the world, because you are a wise woman and you have something to give and you need to feel good in the process. So I am here to serve you. So please pass this on, and please, I love your comments. Let me know if there's anything you want to know more about, because I am here to serve and to help any way I can. So thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day or evening. I will see you next time.